Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. Today is November the 1st, and I'm going to do your Just for Today in a meditation. I am brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our Hood Recovery Services. If you need to reach me, do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. I am excited to get through this just for today. I can't tell you how many times, I've restarted. Oh my goodness. I definitely am a person that needs more coffee before I get too involved. Listen, today is a beautiful day. This just for today is entitled Awakening. God help us. God helps us as we help each other. We're going to rock with it, okay? We're going to rock with this one. God helps us as we help each other. Basic text, page 52. If you're looking for perfection today, you might want to move on because you are not going to get it with me today. Oh my goodness. God helps us as we help each other. Basic text, page 52. Let's get into it. Our addiction caused us to think almost exclusively of ourselves. Even our prayers, if we prayed at all, were self-centered. We asked God to fix things for us or get us out of trouble. Why? Because we didn't want to live with the problems we'd created for ourselves. We were insecure. We thought life was about getting, and we always wanted more. And in recovery, we get more than just not using. The spiritual awakening we experience in working the 12 steps reveals to us a life we never dreamed possible. We no longer need to worry about whether there will be enough, for we come to rely on a loving higher power who meets all our daily needs. Relieved of our incessant insecurity, we no longer see the world as a place in which to compete with others for the fulfillment of our desires. Instead, we see the world as a place in which to live out the love our higher power has shown us. Our prayers are not for instant gratification. They are for help in helping each other. Recovery awakens us from the nightmare of self-centeredness, strife, and insecurity that lies at the core of our disease. We wake up to a new reality. All that is worth having can be kept only by giving it away. Just for today, my God helps me as I help others. Today, I will seek help in giving away the love my higher power has given me, knowing that this is the way to keep it. Beautiful meditation. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you, God. Grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Well, God helps us as we help each other. I think this is a spiritual concept that is true. While I'm focused on giving and serving others, I have a God that fulfills my needs, provides my needs, gives me strategies on how to attain what I need in a manner that doesn't distract from who my God is. In other words, when I succeed, my God looks good, right? And so my God is interested in my success. My God is interested in my ability to start and finish projects, to follow through with my commitments, my successfulness in every area of my life, in my prosperity in a general sense. And a lot of times what happens is that when we stop using and we start to become more focused, we become more self-centered in the sense that we are focused on trying to make up for lost time. We become super ambitious, sometimes at the cost of relationships. And we can truly say that a lot of the time when we first get here, hopefully, it's only during the initial stages, right? Hopefully, we're not working the steps and getting inculcation of the 12 principles through the steps and still misaligning ourselves. Okay. So what happens a lot of the time is that because we're so worried with trying to make up for lost time, we make compromises and we become over ambitious, trying to make up for that time. And we step on people's toes. We crawl over people trying to get up to the top of the ladder, only to realize that we're ill equipped. Once we get to the top, we don't really have what we even need to be successful at being at the top. And so now what happens is we've made it at the top and it looks like we just self-willed ourselves there. Like there was no preparation for us to get to the top. My God is not like that. Okay. So what I have found is that I am able to focus on serving other individuals. And it's authentic. It is organic. What I'm doing has come quite naturally as a process of all of the other things that have taken place to get me to this point. So it doesn't seem like I'm struggling a whole lot other than to put a few words put a few words together and pronounce them properly. It doesn't seem like I am struggling a whole lot to be able to do what I'm doing, right? And so what can happen is that if you are in the process, you cease worrying about your successfulness. You're not the topic of your prayers all the time. You no longer need to pray all of those foxhole prayers or I just need God to, open up that door so that I can just go through it. A lot of times that's not even when we've had the spiritual awakening, right? That's talked about in the 12th step. It leads us more into service. It leads us more out of ourselves and into the goodwill of humanity. And I think people get that confused. Now, I'm not saying don't be an entrepreneur. I'm not saying don't open your 501c3. I'm not saying, don't try out for a play or a movie that you want to be in. I'm not saying don't sell as much as you need to sell to get the check that you want from commissions. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying be great at whatever you do, right? But through the process of working the steps and getting a inculcation of the 12 principles, you're having a spiritual awakening as a result of them, right? And now you are in a position to carry a message that is worth listening to, worth carrying a message that is an attraction and not a promotion, doing service work on a level of selflessness and more concerned about the unity of us all. And so there are a lot of benefits that come from having this spiritual awakening. If you don't believe me, it's only because you probably have forgotten the smaller spiritual awakenings you've had along the way, or you just haven't gotten through the process of going through your steps for the first time. Um, and a lot of the things that you're doing, you're self-willing, and they're not really God's will. Because in the 11th step, you're asking, right? Through prayer and meditation, maintaining conscious contact with the God of your own understanding, asking for the knowledge of your God's will. and the strength and the power to carry that out, right? So it's possible that you haven't even gotten there. And a lot of what you're doing is wearing you out because you haven't gotten out of self-will as much as you would like to think. I want for you to take the time today to go back through this meditation. I really want to get over to the other one as well and get them uploaded. And I cannot do this as much justice because of the time that I've taken to try to get it to flow properly from me today. So I just want to release you and say to you, have a beautiful day on purpose. Remember that as you help other individuals, there's a reason for that because you're in a position to help other individuals. God has helped you to get to that point. And that's really when you get to the 12th step, what it comes down to. Right? Have you had enough of a spiritual awakening where now you can be of service to others and not so self-centered anymore? I think so. I think if you're listening to this on a regular basis, you're probably at that stage. If not, I believe that you will be. Please have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to. Thank you so much for listening.